Hi, I'm Linda and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In this video, I'm putting together my Project Life spread for the week of February 6th through February 10th, 2023. And I'm working with the February kit from Freckled Fawn. I absolutely love this kit because it's a ton of pink and florals, which is so my thing, but it's not over the top to the point where you can use it for a spread that's not all girly and lovey. I'm using it for this week, which includes a bunch of random photos and a little bit of travel. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so this was a short week, and if you've been following me for a while, you probably know that although I do Project Life weekly, I don't stick necessarily to a Monday through Sunday week. I will mix it up because I wanted to make sense, and I went on vacation starting on Friday of this week. Friday was the day I flew. So basically this is just the Monday through the Friday. I included my travel day on this week just because I wanted my vacation to kind of be all on its own spread. So I adjusted my weeks like that. But because I had so many photos from vacation, because it's a vacation, and there was just a lot of stuff to take pictures of, I wouldn't have included my travel photos if that was all that if that was included on that week. Sorry, it's hard for me to craft and work, but I'm gonna do it. But yeah, so if I was trying to put my travel day in with my with the vacation itself, then I would probably cut these photos. So I have this photo from the airplane. I have the photo of my boarding pass and my passport because I did go internationally. And then I have this photo of New York City as I was driving by on the way to the airport. Because I flew out of JFK. So I wouldn't have included those photos in the next spread because it's going to be all my vacation photos, and there's way better photos from while I was actually on vacation. So I decided to put my travel day on this week, and I didn't have a ton of other photos. You can see I don't have like a ton of stuff that went on this week. I have a few things. I have some cat photos. I have some food photos. I have a photo my daughter sent me with her boyfriend. I have this sunrise, just like some random photos. And then this was right before vacation, a thing that happened at work. My boss was testifying. And then I have a few pieces of ephemera that I collected that I might try to use. I don't have a ton to say this week, so this kind of makes sense to include those, but I'm going to go ahead and pull over my kit. I'm working with, I'm going to scoot that out of the way. I'm working with the February kit from Freckled Fawn, and I have already used this kit for a traditional scrapbook page, so I'm missing a little bit, and there's like, I cut this one out. But I'm going to just go through, I'm going to actually go through the cards first. And then I also have all these alphas in here because those were the Doe's deal those are the Doe's deal in March, but I do like them with this kit. I was using those on my other spread, but there's some alphas in here, some chipboard. I need to be better at organizing my kit for you guys. When I start going through the kits, I'm always like shuffling everything. Sorry about that. There's all these die cut flowers, and I used some of those on another project, but I might use some. I might not because I do really like the flowers, but I don't know that they go with my photos and stories for this week. There's the chipboard, there's some labels, some other alphas, there's some puppy stickers. This is a really packed kit, you guys. And then there's this washi tape, which is like iridescent, which I really love, and my daughter loves that. So I actually used that on another project I did that was about her. So I'm gonna go through the cards first. So as always, there's 2 of each. I really love this one with the flowers. And I know I said I didn't want to do the flower theme, but some of the prettiest pieces of this kit are flowers. So I'm probably gonna use like a flower card as a journaling card. All you need is love. There's this one. And if you recall, there's this here, and I do wanna use this on my title card because I remember that I had seen this use this in the January kit because it's in every kit, and used a title card that looked like this. So I might do that here. And I think that's off screen, but I'll pull that down once I get everything laid out. I think this one is super cute for some journaling, but it's also not like a white background, so I'm not sure that I want to use it. The butterfly, I kind of love that for the vacation, so I'm going to put that. I'm going to journal about my travel day. And then, oh, there's this 1 through 5, which I can maybe use for some stories. Let's see, I don't really have a lot of stories this week. So yeah, I think I'm going to use this to kind of tell some stories. I'm going to use this for my travel day, or maybe I'll put my stories over here. And then that's it. I don't really have more stories. So I think I might like use that and tell a story about how I got a ring or a new ring. I already had one. I got a second one. And then I'm just going to put some like fillers. So I'm going to go through the papers now. Now I liked the cards and there were a few more I might want to use, but I really love the papers this month. So let's see, there's this floral and the hearts are really cute, but the floral matches this card that I'm already using. So I don't think I'm going to use it again. It's like a bigger version of that. Then let's see, there's the hearts, which is the other side of it. Just a plain dot. This is large, but I do want something to kind of adhere this on top of, so the dots might be good for that. Although I love this arrow one too. I might use this arrow one. And then there's this floral and this like white pattern. It's very light. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like these little pink flowers, geometric flowers. It's very cute. And that would be a really great one to like stamp on top of or do some journaling on top of. And then there's this one, which has some painted florals on a grid, which I love this paper, you guys. Let's see, I think I want to use this one. I kind of want to use that floral, but I don't know what to put on it. Like this would cover up most of it. So I think I'm going to use this floral because it's like going on vacation. I mean, the arrows, not the floral. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to use these arrows and cut a 3x4 card. Because it's kind of like, I like the arrows as like a symbol of like I'm leaving on vacation, right? And then I'm gonna do this dot. And I'm gonna use this as a base for that coffee. So I make my coffee at home and I usually use the same coffee, but this week I finished up this package of coffee that my friend Stacy sent me. So I'm gonna put that in here just to kind of document that. And I'm just trying to keep a little more ephemera these days. I used to put so much in my Project Life albums and I'm adding more to my journal and my Project Life now. So I am trying to collect a lot more of it and just get in that habit. So that is kind of, I think that's really gonna be the basic layout. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and get this spread put together. Okay, so I'm gonna dive right in and start out by cutting out this label from this coffee bag. And I struggled with it a little bit, and so that's partially why it's off screen, so I apologize for that. But I ended up having to get some sharper scissors just because of the type of material that the bag was made out of. And it's a little bit larger than I would have liked to fit on that card, but I end up putting it so that I have to crop off a little bit off the edge, but you can read the entire label because that's really kind of the point, is to document the coffee that I had, especially because it's a brand that I'm not going to have again because it's local to my friend who sent it to me. So now I'm going to go ahead and use these stickers from the kit and write out the words "Hello New York City" on this photo of the New York City skyline. So I'm using a trick that I have used for years, and I know I picked it up somewhere years ago, but basically what I do is I attach the letters onto a piece of plastic just on the edge, and that way you can eyeball where it's going to be and kind of hover it over your photo before you press it down, and it's much easier to center text that way. Then I added a little star from the puffy stickers from the kit between the two words just to kind of designate where that space is, because I didn't really space the letters out that much for that gap between the two words. I'm adding one of the label stickers on here and a little bit of text just about how this was coffee from my friend. And then I'm going to add a few little embellishments on there as well. I end up adding a heart stick, or one of the puffy hearts, and then I use my tiny attacher, which unfortunately that got off camera, just to adhere it down a little bit, partially because it's cute, but also because I had that coffee label and it wasn't, regular paper, and a staple is just going to hold it better than adhesive over time. I used another little label to add a little bit more of the story to that photo from work. And then I went in my stash because I am traveling this week and I wanted to use up, I have so many travel related supplies. So I went in my stash and I found this plastic airplane, which is from a much older story kit from Ali Edwards. I think probably from like 2016 or something. It's very old. And I adhered that down onto this patterned paper with the arrow pattern. And then I'm using these alpha stickers to write out "Let's go." There wasn't an apostrophe, so I think I took one of the Z's and cut something off to make an apostrophe. And I love how that turned out. When I do something like that, like use that alpha sticker, like I wrote "Hello New York City," I like to repeat it multiple times on the spread to kind of just have some cohesiveness. And I tend to aim for 3 times. So I will end up coming back and doing a third alpha sticker section later in the spread. For now, what I ended up doing was I wanted to kind of layer this chipboard piece here with a shape or something, but I didn't really have anything else that really was jumping out at me. So what I did was I used one of the scraps of pattern paper and just cut out the matching shape again. And I used that kind of as a base for my chipboard. And then I decided to journal here about my travel day, and I only got part of it done, and then I realized I needed to kind of check my notes on my phone, which I'm using to record. So I end up adding the rest of that text after the filming, but you'll be able to see that at the end if you're interested. Now I'm working on my title card, and just like I had said in the beginning, I use these chipboard pieces. I used the one in January on my January spread, and so I plan to use these every month. And I liked in the January one, which I have in an earlier video, which you can check out if you're interested. I will link that up above. But I layered it with a floral from that kit. So I decided to do the same thing here, and I really like how that turned out. I'm moving on to this card here. I have a sticker that came with my new Ring camera, and I'm just trying to include a lot more ephemera in my spreads these days. So I added that on to this card with the floral along the bottom and just did a little bit of journaling with an arrow pointing to the ephemera. I'm using this little journal card here to tell 5 stories from the week. This format of card shows up often in these Freckled Fawn kits, and I really love the ability to kind of have like a bullet point list of just little stories from the week, because to me that's really what Project Life is about. It's capturing all those little details that aren't really big enough to have their own spread, but this way you can give them just a little piece on your layout. And then I decided after journaling that I needed something a little bit more in my embellishing on the spread. So what I ended up doing is going over to my pens and pulling out a pink Posca pen. And I decided to go with the pink because I love this color, and it kind of pulls in some of the colors from the kit. And I added just a little bit of handwriting on that photo that says "Love this loaf." And like I said earlier, I like to repeat myself or repeat a technique. So I ended up doing it again on this one, just making a note of where I went to dinner with my daughter, and then again on my plane ticket there, so that I had it 3 times. Now I'm going ahead and slipping everything in the pockets, but I decide halfway through that I do want to add a little bit more onto the left-hand side. Like I said in the beginning, I wanted 3 of these cards with the words on here. So I decided to just add the word sunrise on this picture of sunrise in my neighborhood. And I thought it served 2 purposes, because it also covers up the dying grass, because it is February and my grass is mostly dead. But that pretty much wraps up the spread. Then I'm just going to go ahead and crop things down to get them to fit into the pockets. That's one thing that I kind of struggle with, that some of the cards just need a little bit of trimming, and some of the photos as well. It's just a little bit difficult sometimes to eyeball it, but I always kind of print and crop things a little too big on purpose, because you can always trim a little bit more off, but you can't like really glue it back together. So that's why you see me trimming so much. And here's a look at the finished spread. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.